Guest Alim. Hujjatul Islam, Dr. Syed Hadi Yasin, is an Islamic scholar, a licensed psychologist, and a certified life coach. He founded Hadi Life Coaching in 2013, providing coaching on child development, parenting, and relationships to clients across more than 10 different countries. Notably, he has experience working with children and families with special needs. Dr. Yasin is also a community leader and a motivational speaker who focuses on empowering minority groups in the U.S. At this time, please join me in welcoming Hujjatul Islam to the minbar with a loud salawat.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. May Allah inshallah accept all our prayers, our amal, our dua, our fastings and all our dedications inshallah. Reward us for all this and make it dakhira for dunya wal akhirah ببركة صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us to get the most out of this holy month of Ramadan, inshaAllah. We're talking about the practical aspects of the holy month of Ramadan, how we can use this month, how we can customize this month specifically for our own needs. If you remember the first night, I mentioned that every 5 days I will remind us and myself about this opportunity that is in front of us and it's passing in front of me. Today was the 5th day of month of Ramadan. As fast as this, 5 days is gone. The first night we ask what is our goal for this opportunity and how we're going to take advantage of this opportunity that we have in front of us. So it's a good stop for us individually and try to see what did I do in these 5 days? What did I achieve in these 5 days? We were supposed to have a goal, specific goals for ourselves, to improve ourselves. And it's good to stop and see, let's evaluate it. Let's evaluate what I have done in these 5 days. If I am closer to the goal that I am supposed to have, I'm the same person, or what? And based on that, decide about the upcoming days that are in front of us. So every night we're talking about a specific topic, practical aspects of our daily life with considering the Islamic perspective and the spiritual aspects. Tonight and each night, inshallah, what I'm trying to do to find the most practical, and each night I'm building up these topics, which towards the end of this 15 days, I will tell you the most important factor. So wait for that, inshallah. So it's a series of lectures. So if someone's missed one night, might miss the whole, so big portion of the whole message that we're trying to build with each other. And inshallah, the last night, I will talk about, so each night will be more important than the night before, each night until the last night, inshallah, which will be the most important one. So tonight, I'm going to talk about something that is very, very important, and sometimes it's been missed in our spiritual consideration, and in our daily life. When it comes to Islam, what is the definition of deen that I have? I'm raising questions so you can answer in your mind. What is deen? And if I want to be a mu'min, so who is mu'min? The definition of a believer. Who are the people who are successful from the lens of Islam? And who are the people who finally reach salvation? What characteristics they have? So if I ask you, just picture right now, this personality I want to mention. Imagine I said Shimr ibn Ziljoshan. What comes to your mind about the personality of that person? Someone kind, nice, respectful, someone who is a good-tempered. As soon as I say, you have an image in your mind, right, about who that person is. So do you think when we recite the Ziyad Ashura, we recite La'an, we recite, we're away from the enemies of Rasulullah, enemies of Islam, enemies of Ahlul Bayt, are we specifically talking about those people? Like when we say Shem, Khuli, Umar al-Sa'd, are we talking about that specific person who was living in the 61st of Hijri and he did that? Yeah, that is specific person as well. But more important than that, I'm talking about the characteristics of that person. I'm talking about who he was. And when I say, Inni silmun liman salamakum wa harbun liman harabakum, I'm in peace with whoever is in peace with Ahlul Bayt. I'm in war against those who am I talking about? People who have the characteristics, people who are following the same path, right? Beside that, a specific person, yes, but that person is gone. For example, Mukhtar took advantage of that person. Then why do we call Imam of Asr, Imam Mahdi alayhi salatu wasalam? That he will come and take the revenge. Revenge from what? Mukhtar did it already. The culture of those people. That is still running. The personality of those people, they're still there. So what I'm trying to do to stay away from the personality of those people. One of the most important aspects that in our riwayat, in our traditions, emphasized a lot in one of the most important key towards salvation is husnul khulq. It's having a good temper. And if inshallah, I'm going to talk about it, if I open it for you, you will be shocked to what extent is this important, that we're missing. So you mean a believer is someone who recites 1,000 rak'ah salat, namaz awwal waqt, fasting, oh my God, you should see how he fasts, how she fasts. And then the temper of this person, Allahu Akbar, Shimr ibn Ziljoshan. Is it possible? It's not possible. A believer is not a definition of a mu'min. That's someone who is attached to rituals, but when it comes to a personality of the believer, she's not having the personality of that person. Tuba liman hassana khulqa. I said that sometimes we say good for someone, right? If you want to say good for who? If you want to go for someone, who do you say good for who? Hadith is saying good for the person who is a good-tempered person. The one who has husn khulq. Let's get used to this terminology, we're going to use a lot, right? The one who has a husn khulq. In 3 different subjects, inshallah, time allows, we're going to talk about it tonight. What is it? It's one of the tools that can help me through the path of Ramadan to improve myself to become a different person. And I promise you, this topic, every single one of you are included in this topic, including myself. No one can say, well, about the temper. Okay, let's get a test here. Those who believe they're a very good-tempered person, raise your hand. I love your, mashallah, confident. Very good. 1 or 2 people I see around, right? No one is raising hand. How many of you guys you say, relatively, I'm a good-tempered person? Okay, now more, a little bit more, right? I'll ask your wives to see who is a good-tempered one, right? It's about all of us. And it's a topic that it's around us. We're involved with this. So number 1, why is it so important to talk about it? And what is Islam's opinion about that? And we're going to look at it from psychological perspective. Second is that who is a good-tempered person? Who we define. And third, who is a bad-tempered person, right? So when you look at the hadith and traditions, you see hadith is saying that manqul, the heaviest amal at the day of judgment, the best amal, afdal, the best of all amal at the day of judgment is husn khulq. I thought it's the number of raka'at of salah that they had. I thought it's about the day of fasting that they had, which are very important, by the way. No one can say, oh, this is not important. It's very important. More important than all of this. We're going to talk about it. Why? Hadith is saying that إن أكمل المؤمنين إيمانا أحسنهم خلقا. The most complete version of iman belongs to a believer who is what? Who has a husn khulq. I want someone to come and talk about it. Ooh. It's shifting our view towards things around us, right? I'm just reciting this ahadith. Hadith manqul from Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. إن صاحب الخلق الحسن له مثل الأجر الصائم القائم. The ajr and reward of the one who has husn khulq is like the one who during the days are fasting, at night staying awake and doing ibadat of Allah. So it's easy, isn't it? It's not a big deal, so let's do it. While I'm talking, I want you to think about yourself and analyze yourself. It's a self-reflection topic here, right? Okay? When you look at the riwayat, you see that it is impossible, as I mentioned, it is impossible. Try to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without having this personality and this trait, these characteristics, to have a good temper. But who is a good-tempered person? Is it only the one who smiles at other people? First and foremost, husn khulq is a permanent adjective. It's a personality trait that you should have all the time. It's not one or time, two times. And it's not something that you can have it in a specific place. Some people, when it's out of the house, alhamdulillah, everybody would love to be around him. Sweetheart, mashallah, amazing. When he comes home, ya Allah. Everyone is finding the way to get out of around him, so her, just go to their rooms, right? Lock the door so they won't come out. The first characteristics of the one who has husn khulq, number one, the face and the appearance of this person is always positive. We're going to talk about how it's even possible. المؤمن بشره في وجهه وحزنه في قلبه. Mu'min is the one who the positivity and happiness is in the face of the believer, and the sadness, we all have some situations, is in the heart of the believers. It is not your fault if I had an issue before I come to a member. It's not your fault. I'll sit down here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. How are you doing? It's not your fault. I should take care of myself before I come sit down here, or I won't take this responsibility. You agree with me? I can't bring an excuse because he is working all day outside, and I 100% believe in you. You're tired, you have problem outside, it makes you, frustrated, your boss, your supervisors, your employees, whatever it is, right? You have tons of issues and problems. It is not justifying that you come home, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, show the anger you couldn't show to your boss, to your wife and your children. That's not the deen that we know. Just because your children make you so upset at home and he was not helping you, is not an excuse that when he comes home you do not give a smile to him. Mu'min is the one who you can see within the face of the believer. It's positive. It's not a fake thing. It's the personality of this person. Hadith is saying that manqul, whoever saw Rasulullah, la yura illa dhahika. No one look at the face of Rasulullah unless he had a smile on his face. Didn't he have issue? Didn't he have a problem? Didn't he have a wars? One left after Khandaq and Uhud, and right? What do you think that was the main thing that attracted people to Islam at that time? The salat of Rasulullah, the fasting of Rasulullah, the amal of night of God. We didn't have any of these things. At the beginning of Islam, what was there? Who knows? The personality of Rasulullah, period. Look what Quran says. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, chapter 3, ayah 159. فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَضًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَالِبِ لَانْفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ. First and foremost, it's the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if you have a good temper. If you have husn khuluq, it's rahmat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if it was not for the sake of this personality that you have husn khuluq, they would have been spread away from you, or get away from you, all of them. The first aspects, I thought a lot about this, brothers and sisters. Sometimes we're very, very oppressive. When I am in the grocery stores, it's always a smile there. When it's the clerk, cashiers, other people, thank you so much. If someone opened the door and keep the door open for me, what do I say? What do you say? You have a little smile there, right? But as soon as someone who I've never seen, I probably never seen in my life. Well, when I come home to my loved ones, I don't have that smile. Someone interpreted this. Why? The one who I see, the one who I need, the one who I should reciprocate the love, I don't give but to strangers. Make sense? 100% or no? Yes or no? Yes. MashaAllah. So yes, it definitely makes sense. Yeah. The easiest things you can give to someone else is that smile that you have. You might have, we're not faking it again. You might have a lot of troubles. You might have a lot of issues. You might have marital problems. But why this smile is not there? He's opening the door. You are seeing him with your smile, with that happiness that you have despite the whole, throughout the day. The most difficult job is to take care of the kids, by the way. It's more difficult than working the mind. With all the difficulties, when he comes home, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you give that a smile. قُرْبَةً إِلَى اللَّهِ. Do you think ibadat, قُرْبَةً إِلَى اللَّهِ, Allahu Akbar, just salat? This is ibadah. You come home, you're very tired. You know, our ancestors before said very nicely, it says a man is the one who before he comes home, before he opens the door, when he takes off his shoes, inshallah everyone, takes off his shoes, he put all the difficulties and pressures of the day outside of the door, then he comes home. The first aspects of husn khulq. The in-laws, I promise you, if you smile at your daughter-in-law, son-in-law, you're going to have more respect. I promise you. It's not that if you frown, if you try to, or a man or a woman, doesn't matter. You won't have respect or you won't have, prestige if I don't smile. No, it's not that way actually. It's opposite. That people can approach you. 2, the second aspect, the second factor to have a husn khulq and be good tempered is that they control this tongue. They never use this tongue to sting and to break the hearts of anyone. You see, it's not just about a smile. They understand how to use this. When you go through riwayat, ahadith and riwayat, manghul are saying that the majority of people of hell are those people because of their tongue. That guy said very nice. He says, you see, we have the teeth. These are all like the bars of the prison. And this tongue is supposed to be in the prison. It's supposed to be in my control. But it still comes out and says something and goes. Your communication, your softness in communication with people. Let me tell you something interesting. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Musa, اذهبا إلى فرعون إنه طغى. Go to Fir'aun. Go to Fir'aun, talk to Fir'aun, right? Do we have anyone worse than Fir'aun in Quran? Usually he's among the worst people, right? That he claims he's God. Then what Allah is telling Musa and Harun? فَقُولَا لَهُ قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا. Talk to him very softly. Ya Allah, with Fir'aun? At least not with Fir'aun. Why? لَعَلَّهُ يَتَذَكَّرُ أَوْ يَخْشَى. maybe it would affect him. It would help him to come back to the path. If I am supposed to talk nicely and softly with Fir'aun, let alone, you fill up the blank. And you got it, right? The way I need to talk, the way I need to articulate, the way I need to... If I want to make my children to be in love with Islam, I should be able to use this in a nice way. Not to kick him to wake up for the Fajr prayer, right? This is important. This communication is very important. Number one factor associated with marital satisfaction is communication, by research, a statistic. And I can tell you, 99% of the families who have marital issues, one of the biggest problem, if not the biggest problem, is communication issue. You have to get used to it. Not being sarcastic, not to break someone's heart. Sometimes, astaghfirullah, we see some issues happen, some rumors go around the communities. Someone so freely talks about another person's. Did you hear, they did this, they did that. Do you know that, they got married, they don't have children. Who do you think is fault? The man or the woman? It's your fault. Go look at your own family, your own life. Why are you looking at other people's life? Sending a rumor, destroying someone's life, personality, while using this tongue in a way that it shouldn't be used. Number 3, the one who has husn khulq. I'm just describing, so we put ourselves in the template of these characteristics according to our riwayat and traditions, and trying to say, based within this scope of Ramadan, how can we use it to improve ourselves, right? The third things, they have this golden rule. They are fair. Whatever they want for themselves, they want it for other people as well. Riwayat are full of this concept. You heard about this, right? Insaf, nisf. Whatever you want for yourself, however you want your daughter to be treated, you should treat the daughter of someone else that way too. Did you get it? Yes? Yes or no? Yes. Sisters? Ahsant. MashaAllah. The younger one says yes. Allah. The way you want to be treated by your husband, by your wife, you should do exactly the other way around. One of the practices I have for my clients, you know what I do tell them in the session? I said, brother, now you're Sister Maryam, your wife. Sister Maryam, now you're Brother Hassan. Change your positions. Now talk to each other about the same issue. Oh my God, at the beginning, it's like pushing, the big truck. It's not moving. Because I have to put myself in your shoes, and I have to think like you, and I give you the right. Practice this at home, please. It's very fun, very fun. When was the last time I put myself in the shoes of my parents? It's not all about me. It's about them too. They have the right as well. Where did I put myself in their shoes to see that? What was the last time I gave a smile to my father, to my mother when they come home? When was the last time I said, Dad, I want to say thank you so much for all you're doing? Believe me, you take all this pressure of the day away from him. When was the last time that I bent down, kissed the feet of my mother, and says, thank you so much for being here? In Jummah prayer, last Jummah, you know what I said? I said the reason it says, Al-Jannatu tahta aqdam al-ummahat. The Jannah, heaven, is under the feet of mothers, not in her hands, because you have to go all the way down to get it. Should be so humble in front of her to get it. Right? Put yourself down. You can't be up here and get the Jannah. You should go down. When was the last time, instead of just claiming, why you're not giving it to me? Why you're not doing it to me? When was the last time I give to my parents as well, right? That's why this is a topic about all of us. So being fair here, I promise you, in any relationships, parent, children, couples with each other, family members, extended family members, if only you put yourself in the other one's shoes and try to see things from others' perspective, a big portion of the problems are already solved. A good-tempered person is the one who can do that. Number 4, very interesting. The one who has husn khulq is the one who can talk about their love to other people. He or she can show and can talk and communicate about the love. Literally, you go to your wife, say, I love you. Mawlana, astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh. If my grandfather comes back from grave and he hears me, Allah, this is Islam. I don't know if you have heard this in the manabir and pulpit or not. This is Islam. Hadith manqul from Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam. He says, if you love your brothers or sisters in Islam, your brothers and sisters, not your relatives. You have a friend, you love that person, right? You have a close friend. فَأَخْبِرْهُ. Go tell that person, brother, I love you so much. Sister, I love you. Let alone, fill the blank. Let alone your loved ones. Maulana, is it your own psychological thing that you're inventing? No. How many times you heard Rasulullah, he went home, he looked at Hazrat Zahra Salam and he says, I smell heaven from you. Oh my God, you're peace of my heart. Oh my God, I love you so much. What is it? Where is this coming from? Huh? He bent down, kissed the hands of his daughter. Imagine in the TV right now, you see a great marja in the TV, he bent down and kissed the hands of his daughter in front of everyone. So, Ya Allah, what is it? This daughter should be very important. He's also teaching us something. He's trying to fill up the love tank of his daughter. When he is in Qara Hara, the cave Hara, Rasulullah, right? For the most important job, which is going to be the last prophet, the most important prophet, Khatamun Nabiyyin. He sent Amir al-Mu'minin, Imam Ali salam, Ya Ali, go home, tell Khadija, sweetheart, the reason I'm not coming home is not any personal things. It's just a mission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah, can you just finish your job? Why are you so worried about your wife? The reason he's a prophet, because he's a great abd and great husband. See what happens here? If I cannot tell my husband that I love you, oh Maulana, you don't know what he does. Huh. I look at his face, I can't even say I know, because that's my job, right? You can't tell me that you don't know. Who are you doing for? You're doing for the sake of Allah, and the muhabba will come inshallah. There might be other issue, by the way. You need to solve it professionally, see professional counselor, blah, blah, all these things. Yes, you know what I mean. You know my approach, right? From professional perspective. But do your job. Don't stop doing your job because someone else is not doing their job. Because at the day of judgment, you're going to stand up and it says, oh my God, he didn't do it, she didn't do it. They're going to say, did you do it? Yes? You agree or not? Yes? Sisters? It's a little bit, no, maybe. Yes or no? Ahsan, mashallah. Be able to say it. When my dad comes home, why can't I go and says, Dad, I love you. Baba, I love you so much. That's it. Just give, a father told me, when my son is in college, mostly he calls his wife, his mother. And I sometimes look around to see if he's asking for me or not. And he doesn't ask to talk to me. But I love to talk to him. Your parents, they have heart too. Sometimes we don't understand this. The little things that makes their life, their day, to get attention from you, to get respect from you, right? Then you can see, you make the hearts of your parents happy and satisfied, the doors of the mercy of Allah is open in front of you. It's hard, isn't it? It's to put that's right, no, this is all Islam. To be able to talk, to be able to say it, to show it. And you know what's the problem? I hope youth don't hear this. Because we don't show that as husband and wife, as mom and dad in the house. What are we teaching? Because we're not practicing the same thing. We're not showing love and affection to each other. I'm not saying the split aspects of it. But sometimes in our culture, when mom and dad, they're going to sit down, dad will sit down over there, mom would sit down over there. Don't sit next to each other, astaghfirullah, in front of the kids. Where did that come from? Don't say I love you in front of the kids. Why? Then how and where they need to learn that husband and wife, they need to show affection to each other. Where? Hollywood movies? I promise you to go watch those things then. And then when they watch that, they say, oh my God, look at the life of these people. You see? They understand what is love, not the Muslims. I should be able to show to my children, to my daughter, that this is the wife's, as a mother, I have to show to my mother, this is the way that you show affection to your husband. By making yourself beautiful, showing an affection. I should teach my son, this is the way that you respect your wife, the way that I'm respecting your mother. Otherwise, this circle and cycle will continue over and over and over. My son is going to treat his wife the way that I treated my wife. And guess what? The shame of that, the punishment of that is on my shoulder. قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا. Yourself and your family, keep yourself and family away from the hellfire. What am I teaching? When was the last time that my daughter got married before she goes to the husband's house? I taught her, sweetheart, sit down here. Let's talk about the rights of a husband. These are the things you have to do. Not that, be careful with the in-laws, don't smile at them, don't act this way. They're going to be... When was the last time I pull out my son? Are you ready to get married? If you are ready to respect a woman, if you're ready to see the rights of a woman, that's the time you're married. You can get married. Not because you're baligh or you can get married physically. No. If you're intellectually ready to respect a wife and respect her rights and responsibilities and be the one who she can rely on you, that's the time to get married. If it's the time that you can control your anger, that's the time you should get married. If you're not ready for that, you're not getting married. You see? To show these things, to teach these things in the house. I'll ask you a question. Where did Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein and Sayyidah Zainab and Kulthum, where did they learn Islam and love? Where? Tell me, where? In whose house? The house of Amir al-Mu'minin Sayyidah Fatima somewhere. Give me water. This is where they saw. They saw the affection between mom and dad. They saw how the father is talking about the mother, how the mother is respecting the dad, right? They have seen it. They saw that. Give me the other one. Thank you. They saw it in front of them. Imagine this Amir al-Mu'minin comes home from war. He has a lot of scars and he is disrespecting his wife. From the physical perspective, wouldn't that affect this baby, this kids in front of them? Is that clear? Yes or no? I just want to make sure mutual. Is that clear? Well, no. My parents, a lot of issue when I see is because of the parents. They didn't treat their kids well. And now I am the husband, I'm the wife. Okay, so your parents did this. How and what are you going to do with your kids? You be the one who start the sunnat hasanah. Work on yourself. Improve this path. So they look back and says, this generation from here started becoming, mashallah, great. This is the ibadah we're talking about. This is making the ibadah more colorful we're talking about, right? The other one, the one who has husn khuluq is the one who can appreciate, who has gratitude. Man lam yashkur al-makhluq, lam yashkur. You see, these are all concepts we have in deen. It's just important to be able to express it and talk about it. There's a hadith manqool from our 8th Imam, Imam Rada alayhi salatu wassalam. Thank you. So, very interesting. Please go Google this. He has 10 signs of an aqil. Aqil, one who has wisdom, intellectual person, has 10 signs. One of these signs, he says, whatever others do for this aqil person, he or she keeps it very big and make it a big deal, significant. Whenever he does something for other people, it's not a big deal. This is the sign of aql and wisdom. Then imagine, put it in the template of family. Put it in the template of husband and wife, right? Instead of saying that, oh my God, you don't know what I have done outside. You don't know, you don't respect me. Just, you must be very tired. Dealing with. Brothers and sisters, I'm not making a rosy color, unrealistic situation here. This is possible. This is my job every day. We're talking and help people to get used to these things. Just because someone is not used to these things, it might looks like, oh my God, what is he talking about? He's talking about Mars and moon? No, I'm talking about here, earth. We're talking about deen. How deen looks like. What is the face of a believer? This is the face of a believer. If my children are supposed to be attached to deen, This is the face of the deen. You agree? Not the face of the deen that is always fight and issues and troubles and problems and everything in the house. I just want to get away from this house. I have a lot of teenagers talk to them, a lot of clients. He says, Maulana, please do not ask me from college to go home. Because what? Because it's a source of discomfort and stress. When I'm at college, it's so good, peaceful. No one is fighting there. House environment should be the way that a husband cannot wait throughout the day. So it's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, let's go home. I'm tired from outside. I need to go to the peaceful environment. Not that he says it's better to stay out a little bit more. Oh my God, go home, what? House environment should be created by a husband the way that she cannot wait for her man to come home. Not that she says, inshallah, he gets into traffic so he won't be home. Right? The environment should be the way that my children cannot wait from outside to be home. With all ups and downs, by the way. No one is perfect, right? No house is 100% perfect. We understand this. There's issue, there's problem, there's fight in any relationship, right? There's ups and downs. We get upset with each other. We're talking about relatively stable relationship or situation. Make sense? We're not talking about, oh my God, so there's no fight or no. That's unrealistic. That's unrealistic. So, it is very important to show that appreciation and to be thankful to other people. We are, like I said, outside we're very thankful. I always give the examples. If someone's keep the door open for me, I might say thank you. But if I am a little bit further away and see she or he is still keeping the door open for me, what do I say? Oh, thank you so much. Now I put so much into it as well, just because of the 2 more seconds. Am I the same way at home? You didn't have to. Thank you so much for doing it to me. I know you're so busy. I know it's tough. I know it's difficult. I know the day is this way, that way. Let me ask you a question. Are we doing these things and we still have marital issue? Or we're not doing these things and we have marital issue? Are we following these things I still have problem with my mom and dad? Or I'm not doing these things and I have problem with my parents? One of the signs was what? To be fair. Brothers and sisters, Ramadan is about this. That I get out of Ramadan, I look at my akhlaq, my personality is a different one. And when they look at me outside, my colleagues, this is mashallah, this sister, this brother, working in a corporation, whatever it is. Look at the akhlaq of them. Oh, they're Muslim, mashallah. They're attracting people to deen by their akhlaq. They don't look at the way that you says, well, but they see your akhlaq, right? Which that one is very important, by the way. You get my point, right? Don't say that that's not important. That's super important because namaz batal if you don't do the right things. But I'm trying to put the perspective here. So, maybe the last one I will mention, inshallah, and tomorrow we'll continue the same topic. You see now how difficult it is, right? Now you understand why it is so important, why it is so difficult, why Rasulullah is saying that the afdalul a'mal, the best amal, the heaviest amal is what? Is husn khulq. Now I understand why. Because I get tired, I get frustrated, I'm angry, whatever, I need to control myself. We'll talk about the topic of anger, inshallah, other nights. So, I'll finish with this. The one who can pay attention to other people's need as well. The one who has husn khulq is the one who see other people around as well. They see what other people need. The one who try to, while fulfilling their needs, also pay attention to other people's too. When it comes to conflict in a relationship, I only see what? My side. You're not giving, you're not respectful, you're not doing. Is the one who pays attention, is the one who see other people, is the one who help. We have these examples. Imam Hassan alayhi salatu wassalam, someone came to Medina and he started cursing Imam Hassan and Imam Ali in front of Imam Hassan. Imam Ali was passed away at that time, but in front of Imam Hassan he was cursing him and his father. The companion around us says, go grab him, go kill him. Why are you disrespecting Imams like this? Imam Hassan says, calm down, brothers, calm down. Look at him, he looked at him and says, looks like you are traveling, you're not from this city. He was like, awkward. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, do you have anywhere to go? Let's go to my home. The guy came home. Imam took care of him, gave him everything. He said, long story short, he said, Wallahi, I came to this city. I think it looks like he was from Damascus and Muawiyah type. He said, I came to this city. I hated you and your father more than anything else. Now I'm living this city. I don't love anyone more than you and your father. He could control his anger. He could control his wrath. Don't you think that Imam Hassan got upset? He did. But look how instead of showing anger, he changed it to what? To affection. Then that affected him. This is what we know about Ahlul Bayt. This is what we know. And brothers and sisters, it's a process, by the way. If you see, we all have ups and downs. When I talk about it, you look at yourself, you say, yes, I should work on myself. The first question I ask, who is there to say I'm very good-tempered, right? The majority of none of us, we raise our hands. It's a process. That's why I said we have to use Ramadan to work on it. There was an alim, he said, I felt jealousy in my heart. An alim, he says, I felt jealousy. I knew this is toxic. I knew I have to do something. He said, the entire Ramadan, I went one Ramadan to Haram Imam Rida. I said, I'm not coming out of this shrine until I get rid of this personality. And he says, Wallahi, I stayed there and I stayed there and I stayed there until I work on themselves. Until I felt the jealousy is gone. And from that moment, I don't feel jealous about anything and anyone around. When I identify the problem, a physical, I go to doctor. I don't give up until it's done, right? When I find out a personality issue and a spiritual deficiencies, I should not leave it until what? I work on it until it gets better. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll talk about the rest of this and we'll go to who is a bad-tempered person. It's very important as well. Who is a bad-tempered person and what should we do and how practical steps in order to practice to be, inshallah, a good-tempered person. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammadin wa ajjal farajahum. Allahumma ajjal waliyaka al-faraj wal-afiyata wal-nasr wa mudda fi umrihi al-sharif wa zayyana al-arda bitul baqa'ih waj'alna min a'wanihi wa ansarihi wa shi'atih. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, thabbit qulubana ala dinik. Bihaqq al-Rasul, Ya Allah, hasten the dhuhur of our Imam Mahdi. Us and our generation, let us be among the best of his followers. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Rahim, give us the tawfiq of having husn khulq. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Rahim, keep us away from any personality, any characteristics, anything that is against your satisfaction. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Rahim, help us to create a faithful and peaceful household. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those around the world who are under difficulties in Gaza, in Yemen, Bihaqq Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, Ya Allah, provide the best of opportunities for their freedom, success and patience. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those who have hajat and requests, my respected brothers and sisters, give them khair hajat. Those who are not feeling well, cure them. Those who passed away, send the thawab and reward from our gatherings to their souls. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة مع الصلوات. وعجل اللهم في فرج مولانا صاحب الزمان صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله صلى الله عليك يا حبيب الله. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين يعصوب الدين قاية غر المحجلين. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك وعلى 9 المعصومين من ذريتك. صلى الله عليك يا صاحب الزمن يا إمام الإنس والجان يا شريك القرآن. الأمان الأمان ورحمة الله وبركاته.